The House of Representatives has approved a White House request to claw back 2 years of previously approved funding for public media. The rescissions package now moves on to the Senate. This move poses a serious threat to local stations and public media as we know it. Please take a stand for public media today at goacpr.org. Thank you.
With us, Click and Clack, the Tappert brothers, and we're broadcasting this week from the Employee Review Center here at Car Talk Plaza.
One of my favorite times of year, man.
Oh, mine too.
Yeah.
Well, this being the end of the calendar year, we of course, are charged with giving feedback to our employees.
Yeah.
And as we were working on our evaluations this week, we got some help from, well, I shouldn't mention his, it'd be embarrassing.
Oh, Neil Jackson's name?
Yeah.
Hey, he sent it to us.
Well,
he deserves to get credit.
He's the general counsel at NPR. And
a lawyer.
Yeah, well, he was between lawsuits.
Yeah.
His lawsuit was at the cleaners. Anyway, he sent us some suggested phrasing for some of these evaluations, which we were able to put to use, and I guess we'll
Yeah, no, I mean, I actually used some of them. I was doing Ken Rogers' evaluation just this morning, and I used one of Neil's phrases. Ken works well when under constant supervision and cornered like a rat.
About our beloved production engineer, Jonathan Marston, we wrote, this employee should go far, and the sooner he starts, the better.
I wrote one for Catherine, our assistant producer, Catherine Ray. I wrote, Catherine has what I would call delusions of adequacy. Thanks, Neil.
And here's one for Mr. Mayor, our senior web lackey. I would not allow this employee to breathe.
And don't forget Bugsy, our technical advisor. He got, as a technical advisor, Mr. Bugsy sets low personal standards and then consistently fails to meet them. I think that's fair.
And here's my favorite. I saved this for Berman, our esteemed producer. This employee is depriving a village somewhere of an idiot.
That's him, all right.
If you have any evaluations to add to these, please feel free to call us. If you have a question about your car, you can also call us at 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
This is Don.
Don, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Where you from?
I'm from Lenox, Mass.
No kidding.
No kidding. The other end of the state.
Yeah, I remember that.
Lenox, Mass, in the midst of the Berkshires.
That's it.
Nice place.
Well, thanks.
So what's up?
Here's my story, okay?
Yes.
I'm a proud owner of a 1989 Suzuki Sidekick.
I can tell. I can see the pride coming over the airwaves.
Oh, it's a beauty. My black beauty, okay?
I'll bet.
Now, I got it for a very nice price, okay?
How long have you had it?
Couple months.
Oh, you bought it just recently?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
52,000 miles.
Oh.
Smoke. That's the big problem.
Smoke, huh?
But weird smoke, okay?
Yeah.
You start it up, and the smoke doesn't come out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Give it maybe, 20 seconds, and then bales of smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a minute,
no
smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
But after driving it and everything, it seems it gets around 400 miles to the court.
Aha.
What's the color of the smoke?
Oh, we know. It's blue.
Oh, it's oil.
Oh, yeah, it's oil. We know he's burning a quart every 400.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking for, I've known since the first
minute what the problem is. He's trying to break it to him.
I'm looking for a delicate way to tell you, Don. I don't know any delicate way to tell you, and I think you may even know what's going on.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
I knew about this, and hey, look.
And you said, so what? It's only $800. So how can I go wrong?
$400.
How many?
$400.
Oh,
you got a deal. Well, here's the deal. Yeah. There's one or two things that it could be. Either it's the valve guide seals, and if you're a church-going man, and you're really lucky, that it'll be that.
Yeah. I'm voting for that, by the way.
I am too.
Yeah. I think it is valve guide seals.
So you have 2 votes for and about 800,000 against.
Okay.
It's likely to be the rings, but the only real way to tell is to replace the valve guide seals, or at least get a look at them. And you might be able to look at them by taking the valve cover off and seeing if they're all busted.
Right.
And the valve guides may be worn out. You might be able to tell that, too, by moving the valve stems and seeing how much they move.
Okay.
If that's the case, you take the head off and you have the head rebuilt. Maybe you need new guides and new seals, and that may stop it. When that doesn't work,
right,
then you've got to throw.
Notice he didn't say if that doesn't work.
You've got to throw a set of rings in it.
Yeah.
But that's not so bad either.
Yeah, you're right.
It isn't bad.
So I have to just say my prayers tonight
and
think valve guide seals.
There you go.
That's it.
Oh, super.
See you, Don.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Actually, saying his prayers is not enough because you can't just wait until you got a problem like this to say your prayers.
Say them in advance.
If you haven't led a good, clean, honest life all the time, then you're going to need a ring job, and that's all there is to it.
No hope for redemption.
No.
1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Patty Clockley from College Park, Maryland.
Patty?
Yeah.
With an I?
No.
God love you.
What's up, Patty?
My question is kind of like a holiday relationship car question.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
This is the deal. My boyfriend wants to buy me tires for Christmas.
How nice.
Oh, what a crummy Christmas.
No, I disagree.
Now, wait. Before you go off disagreeing everything.
Yeah, don't go off half-cocked here. Let her finish her story. Tires?
Sounds really romantic. I apologize.
Yeah. Are these tires like from Victoria's Secret? No. All right, go ahead.
I have a Celica. It's a GT. It has they're kind of expensive tires, but the money is not the point. I see tires as he might as well buy me a mop. I mean, we're dating. We're not married.
There you go. It's not romantic.
A mop.
Yeah, I mean, it's practical, yeah, and I know it's like, people are like, well, he's being, he's concerned about your safety and everything, but I can go buy the tires.
Yeah.
Right. What you can't buy and tires are an easy way out for him.
That's the other thing, yeah. He can't, he's missing the whole mall.
I mean, nothing
experience.
is more agonizing for me than having to buy my wife, for example, a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
Or a garment. It takes, I could go buy her tires in a New York minute. Yeah, give me 4 of those P's, 215, 75 R15s, and have them mounted.
Yeah, and just mail them to this address.
Well, I also think it's a testosterone thing, too.
Well, have you discussed this with him? Obviously you have. How did the subject come up?
Well,
I love you, dear. How about a nice set of snow tires?
Are they black and skimpy?
So, how did you react when he brought it up? Did you let him know that you weren't really thrilled about the idea, or did you lie?
No, I told him that I didn't want him to get me tires. And
well, I feel a little uneasy about responding to this because I just bought my wife a set of snow tires.
For her birthday.
For her birthday.
I meant to ask you, how is it sleeping in the car now that winter's here? Is it nippy?
It's nippy, man.
Yeah, the plug-in heater I gave you, is that any good?
No good.
No good, huh?
No, because the battery keeps going dead about 2 a.m.
Oh, you gotta hook up the battery charger and plug it into the house.
Yeah, she won't let me use the house electricity.
Well, I think it's terribly unromantic and unimaginative of him to think of buying you tires. And I think you ought to send him off on a mission. You didn't give him a list of any kind?
No, I think that's part of Christmas is him using his own inventiveness to find the perfect gift.
See, my idea of gifts is give something that the person would not buy for himself or herself. And if he somehow thinks that your tires need replacement, and if he's been on your case to buy new tires because he is concerned about your safety because they're all bald, and then he says, I'm going to give them to you for Christmas, I think that's a good thing to do, a good, conscientious, loving act.
Oh, I think it stinks. Yeah.
So what would you rather have as a gift, Patty? You got any ideas?
Well, he knows me. He should be able to find something.
Well, what would thrill you? What of all the things that you could get that within the price range of a set of tires?
Oh, my goodness.
Give us an idea what would thrill you. And quite honestly, I have a selfish interest here. I'm trying to figure out what to get for my wife. So what thrills you might thrill her.
4 tires or 2?
Oh, 4.
Oh, 4.
We're talking $500-$600 here.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
we figured we have done some looking. It's going to be like $400 or something.
He could get you a trip out of Maryland.
There you go. That's a good idea. A vacation together.
A little vacation. A little ski weekend.
Well, I don't ski anymore, but yeah.
All right, you could go the other direction.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
For $400, I mean, you could go to Miami for a couple of days.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Doesn't it?
Let's do that.
Okay.
See, I'm also into experiences rather than things. I don't like to give people things. Anyone can buy things, but they can't buy an experience. And that's what I do.
A trip.
A trip.
There you go.
Go for it. Something you can always remember as, that guy I used to go out with in 1997. Well, I wonder where he is now.
But if he gives you the tires, you'll remember him for about 50,000 miles. Don't forget.
Good luck, Patty. Let us know how you make out.
Let us know what you get.
Yeah.
See ya.
Did you buy anything for your wife yet?
Well, not yet, no.
I haven't either.
But I have it on good authority that CVS is open late Christmas Eve.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, we've got more calls. And ready for this? The puzzler ads are coming up right after this, so don't go anywhere.
This message comes from Revenued. Revenued offers fast, flexible funding for businesses, up to $250,000 for the highest revenue category, with approvals in as little as one business day. Funds are made available on demand, and the cost of capital is based on a fixed factor rate applied to the amount you draw. There are no application fees, no draw fees, and no maintenance fees. Apply now at getrevenued.com and be ready for whatever comes next.
This is Ira Glass of This American Life. Each week on our show, we choose a theme, tell different stories on that theme. All right, I'm just going to stop right there. You're listening to an NPR podcast. Chances are you know our show. So instead, I'm going to tell you, we've just been on a run of really good shows lately. Some big, epic, emotional stories, and some weird, funny stuff, too. Download us, This American Life.
These days, there is a lot of news. It can be hard to keep up with what it means for you, your family, and your community. Consider This from NPR as a podcast that helps you make sense of the news. 6 days a week, we bring you a deep dive on a story and provide the context, the backstory, and analysis you need to understand our rapidly changing world. Listen to the Consider This podcast from NPR.
Okay, it's time to find out if my brother remembers last week's
I
puzzler.
certainly do.
Oh, you do?
I even know the answer, by the way.
Really?
It has to do with the guy who goes into the library.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Here it is. Very few people know this, but we have a barbershop quartet at the garage. We also have a barbershop, too. Even though we've got 6 guys, and the reason it's a quartet is a couple of the guys really can't sing. So one of the guys decides he's going to go to the library and get a book on how to sing. He's going to get, use his tax dollars.
Why not?
But he's so bad, he figures he's got to start from square one. So he figures if he can learn how to hum first, then in fact he's got a shot at learning how to sing, right? Because if you hum, you get a tune. So anyway, he goes to the library. He hasn't been to the library, and he doesn't know anything about the Dewey Decimal System or card catalogs or anything. He walks around. He's embarrassed to ask anybody.
They don't use card catalogs anymore.
No.
But that's all right.
That's all right, but he doesn't know that.
He doesn't know.
He walks around until he finds a book, because he's embarrassed to ask, that says, How to Hum. Perfect, he says.
What a deal.
Takes the book, sits down at a table, begins to read. But there's nothing in it about singing, music, or how to hum. And what was this book that he pulled off the shelf? And he just kind of wandered around, and he saw this book and he said,
there it was.
Just
This
what
is
I
for
want.
me. Yeah.
And?
And it happened to be one of the H's in the set of encyclopedia.
Exactly. HOW to HUM.
And in fact, if he had gone far enough, he would have gotten to hum, because it was the last thing in the book.
Yeah, well, maybe.
But probably...
Didn't tell him how to.
No, it certainly
Just told
didn't tell him how to.
What it was. Who's our winner this week?
Oh! Jeez, well, you always spring that on me, and I always
I know,
have to go...
you should be ready.
Ah, here it is. Our winner is Diane Kunkel from Fort Myers, Florida. You got your answer chosen from among the thousands of answers that we got this week that were correct, and you're going to win our latest dog frisbee, which you can also use as an audio CD.
No kidding.
It features our favorite calls about couples in cars, and it's called Men Are From GM, Women Are From Ford, and this thing actually exists because we saw a copy of it just today.
We'll have a brand new puzzle coming up in the second half of today's show from none other than our esteemed producer,
Really?
Dougie Berman.
He submitted a puzzler?
He did. Well, he thought mine was so lame that he figured He might take a shot at it. His couldn't possibly be any worse than mine have been.
By the way, who was the guy who said we should have called this Men are from GM, Women are from Ford, and Lawyers are from Chrysler?
I don't know. Don't talk about lawyers and Chrysler. Anyway, don't touch that dial. In the meantime, we'll take your calls at 1-800-332-9287. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Susie. I made it from California to Dallas, driving on my way to Mexico. Do you remember me?
Yes,
Susie!
Oh, boy. Okay, so this is the latest.
Wait a minute, we got to remind people who you are.
Okay.
Susie, where'd you start from?
From Carlsbad, California.
Right, Carlsbad, California.
And you were picking up your father at some point.
Yeah, I just got here last night,
She's picking up her father in Dallas, then she's going to drive to Mexico, and then drive across from the west coast to the east coast of Mexico.
Yeah, from Tulum back to La Paz, and then up the southern part of
La Paz, isn't that in Bolivia?
It is, yeah. Don't tell her. Don't tell her.
No.
But you guys, I pretty much need your help right now.
Right? Oh, sure. You only did the first leg of the trip, and you're already in trouble.
When Susie called a couple of weeks ago, we told her to keep us posted on her progress. And she was going to bring a cell phone and call us from the desert in the middle of Mexico, but we're still in Dallas and she's in trouble. Are you really in trouble?
Well, yeah. On the way here, it was a nice trip, except there was this high-pitched noise, on acceleration. And it was a new noise, that I hadn't heard before.
Always happens. As soon as you get out on the highways, what is that?
And now we just took it to someone, and we drained the oil in the transmission. And on the plug are some metal chips, like quite a few metal chips.
That's okay.
Uh-huh.
You got a lot of metal in that transmission.
Is this a stick shift?
Yeah.
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 Don't worry about it.
Is the high-pitched noise prevalent when you're stepping on the gas, but it goes away when you take your foot off?
Right.
Well, actually, it's bad and it's good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's bad because you ain't going to fix it.
Okay.
Certainly not here or Mexico.
So is that meaning new transmission or
no? I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, not till you get to the middle of Mexico, anyway. Yeah, when you find on the map the most godforsaken place in the province of Chihuahua, and that's where the transmission's going to blow. What's making the noise is actually the differential part.
Right. That's somebody mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a bad mesh between the ring gear and the pinion gear because you either had no oil in there, or you had low oil.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd worry about it.
Yeah. That's what I say.
Yeah. You need a can of Transmission Medic. You can.
This is a common problem. It happens all the time, and the fix is to rebuild or replace or forget. And the forgetting is the best and cheapest solution. And the truth is, it could go on for many, many, many tens of thousands of miles before anything happens. So I guess I would do something to maybe knock down the noise a little bit, just so you don't get nervous, because it takes a while to convince yourself that you can really drive forever listening to this noise, because it sounds dire.
Yeah, I would get a Sony Walkman if I were you.
Yeah, that's the way I made it across the desert.
See, you got the right attitude. And you were right in this case. The Sony Walkman is the solution. Tell them to fill it up again with tranny fluid, and don't worry about this. You'll make it okay.
Okay.
So now you're headed from here with Daddy-O.
Right.
From Dallas to Mexico is a long haul right there.
Yeah, it's a couple days to the border, including the paperwork that we have to do there, and then it's comfortably 5 days to the Yucatan.
Yeah, and good luck. Don't worry about this. You'll have other things to worry about, but this ain't one of them.
Oh, I think you guys just want an interesting show, huh? You want me to get down there and call you for...
We want to call on a cell phone from Chihuahua.
Yeah, we want to know when one of your cylinder heads melts.
No, seriously, Susie, we would not give you bum advice on this score.
Okay.
Stay in touch, Susie.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Bye.
I hope we're right.
The saga of Susie.
The saga.
This will be the ultimate stump the chumps if we blow this one.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to resign.
No, but we're both...
This will be a scandal of the first magnitude.
No, both of us have driven tens of thousands of miles. Each of us has driven.
but not over a period of weeks.
doesn't matter.
Oh, it does matter. She's never going to make it. Quick, get her back.
No. I bet your reputation.
Press star 69. Get her back.
Nah, she's going to make it. This is not what's going to make her not make it. That's all I can say.
It's that melted silver.
Decades ago, Brazilian women made a discovery. They could have an abortion without a doctor, thanks to a tiny pill. That pill spawned a global movement, helping millions of women have safe abortions, regardless of the law. Hear that story on The Network from NPR's Embedded and Futuro Media, wherever you get your podcasts.
On the plus side, you get sponsor-free listening to over 25 NPR podcasts. On the minus side, you get fewer chances to tap fast forward on your podcast player. On the plus side, you get to support something you care about. On the minus side, you like challenges and think this makes it too easy. So why don't you join us on the plus side of things with NPR Plus? Learn more and sign up at plus.npr.org.
On The Indicator from Planet Money, we like to zoom in on big economic issues like tariffs and crypto and healthcare.
Let's have a healthcare system where people are kept healthy and not treated only when they're at the most expensive moment when they're sick.
Economic deep dives in 10 minutes or less every weekday. Listen to The Indicator from Planet Money wherever you get podcasts.
Pop Culture Happy Hour, NPR's easy breezy, laid back pop culture podcast, has brought you the best in culture for the past 15 years.
That means we spent the last 15 years talking about what exactly?
Bad reality TV, actually good Marvel movies,
Actually awful Marvel movies,
reboots, pop music,
prestige dramas,
Netflix slop. That's 15 years of buzzy pop culture chit chat, and here's to many more with you along for the ride. Listen to Pop Culture Happy Hour on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And Clack the Tappert brothers, and we're here to discuss, as always, cars, car repair, and pickups.
Of course it fits. This is from Ray Dankle. Dear brothers, I've been wanting to write to you guys for years. In 1990, I was transferred to Tampa. Alone and miserable, I sought companionship at the hot spots with no luck. Different kind of pickups, huh? Notice how I took you that way?
Seems to be.
One Sunday afternoon, I was in a famous local wings and beer place. I was talking...
Oh, yeah, that's where all the babes hang out.
Well, get this. I was talking to a beautiful young woman who was sitting next to me at the bar. I mentioned the place where I was living, Treasure Island.
Oh.
She says, why don't we both drive there and spend some time at the beach? I'm died and gone to heaven.
He's pinch me, he says.
I get in my car. She gets in her car, and she's following me. For 6 miles, she's following me. We stop at a light. I'm checking radio stations, and I found your show. Since you're one of my favorite shows, I got out, ran back to her car, and said, you got to tune into 94.5, or whatever those numbers were. These guys are the best. I get back in my car, and I didn't get 200 yards after the light turned green when I looked in my rearview mirror and saw her hang on a U-turn heading back to Tampa.
I knew it.
Sincerely, Ray Dankle.
You know, it's a classic example of going that one step too far.
Everything was perfect.
Yeah, and if it's perfect, could you possibly improve on it?
No, but what do? We all do this. We do it every week.
Yeah.
We got an answer. Someone asks us a question. We get an answer. And then one of us, moron, whoever he may be, and it changes from day to day.
Yeah, says...
asks that one last little question, makes that one last little comment, or doesn't hang up at the right moment.
Yeah.
And bingo.
Yeah, we should start hanging right up after they give us the name and the location. Jeez.
Looks in his rearview mirror
Poor
and she's
Ray.
hanging a U-turn.
A U-turn, huh?
Oh, well.
Yeah, the mistake he made was they should have gone in her car. He should have just junked his car.
No, but then he would have been playing with the radio and the same thing would have happened.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because she wouldn't have just pushed. She might have thrown him right out of the car.
Yeah, he could have gotten hurt.
He could have gotten hurt. At least he was able to get home this way.
But he was almost home. Okay, here it is. This puzzler was actually devised by Dougie Berman, our producer. It was inspired by a guy named Robert Arge, who sent us an email about an interesting little tidbit that we were unaware of. And Dougie took that tidbit and wove
a puzzler out of it?
Wove a puzzler.
Really? Dougie did that?
Well,
Berman?
Albeit crummy. It's a puzzler nonetheless, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Really?
Well, I did.
Berman actually went to the trouble to do that?
He did. Well, here it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
You'll judge for yourselves.
Fine.
I'm going to just read it.
Go ahead.
Because I can't possibly improve it. The president of the California Free Range Beet Growers Association is taken hostage.
Taken hostage?
Is that taken hostage.
Yeah.
Due to his position of great prestige, a full-blown manhunt is set in motion. Eventually, police surround an underground parking garage in San Bernardino where they believe his eminence is being held. There are 4 cars inside the garage, one of which belongs to the kidnapper and contains the hostage. The other 3, a Nissan, a Ford, and a Buick, all belong to innocent shoppers returning from a long afternoon at Bed and Sitz-Bath.
Yeah, got it.
The kidnapper, knowing that he's surrounded, decides to let the hostage go. But he wants to do so without giving up his identity. So he decides to release his hostage in the stairway of the garage and then run back to his car and blend in with the other innocent motorists that are getting in and out of their cars, and he's going to drive away, obviously.
I think you left out the part where the hostage is blindfolded.
The president, blindfolded.
There you go.
I had, up until that point, left it out.
Yeah, you had, okay.
The president, that is his eminence.
His eminence.
Blindfolded.
What was that, the free-range beet growers?
Beet growers, yeah. Well, it's a little known fact that constricted beets.
Oh, yeah. Well, I understand.
Are known as nutritious. Free-range, you can't beat free-range beets. The president, blindfolded, has no idea where he is or what kind of a car he's in.
No.
He can tell nothing from the sound of the engine since he's used to being chauffeured around. He has no idea what engines sound like.
Yeah.
The kidnapper turns the key off, opens the door, leaves the key in the ignition. Okay? He forces the holy man out of his car and leads him to the stairwell, okay, where he leads him up to the top of the landing, and he leaves him there.
Yeah.
He runs back down, hops in his car, and pretends that he's just another shopper leaving the garage.
Sure.
The Buick leaves the garage first. The Ford goes out second. And the kidnapper in his Honda Accord leaves the garage next. As he emerges from the ramp, he is arrested on the spot, charged, and eventually
convicted.
No, he's freed because Johnny Cochran was his lawyer.
Oh.
How did his eminence know that he was being held in a Honda? And I have to give
so his eminence had time to run to the checkout booth to see the cars exiting. Is that it? I'm trying to get the whole picture here.
No. He runs to the police.
To the police?
He hobbles. He jumps. He's in a gunny sack. He's blindfolded. His hands are tied. He hops to the police.
Oh, and he somehow says to the police,
he says,
look
there's
for
a
the
Honda going to pull out of the garage.
I got you now.
That's the car the kidnapper was driving.
Okay, and Dano, using his walkie-talkie,
books him.
Calls McGarrett at the checkout booth and says,
look for a Honda Accord.
Stop the Honda Accord.
There you go.
And McGarrett says, book him, Dano.
Now, he was blindfolded. He doesn't know anything about what engines sound like. His hands were tied. Couldn't feel the fabric.
Yeah.
Couldn't see anything.
Wow, excellent.
He could smell.
He could smell.
He could taste.
He could.
And he could hear.
And that's not very helpful in these situations.
And he used to be a Boy Scout.
I thought he was supposed to be, the eminence was supposed to be a Boy Scout leader.
Well,
no.
That's all. I thought I'd give that hint.
Well, all right, that's a hint.
Is that a good hint?
He used to be a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
That's an excellent hint.
Now, if you think you know the answer, or you just have nothing to do at work and feel like ripping off the company you work for by using their time.
Even more so than you're doing now. Yeah.
Mail your answer to Puzzler Tower, Car Talk Plaza, Box 3500, Harvard Square, Cambridge.
Our fair city.
Ma 02238. Or you can email us your answer from our website, which is cartalk.msn.com. Just click on the Talk to Car Talk section. And if we choose your correct answer at random from among the 3 or 4 that we're certain to receive, you'll get your very own copy of our brand new tape or CD called Men Are From GM, Women Are From Ford.
And Lawyers Are From Chrysler.
Or some other useless gift from the Car Talk Shameless Commerce Collection. 1-800-332-9287 is our number. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hello, this is Patricia from Cook City, Montana.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
Cook City.
Well, for a second there, I thought you had a hint of a British accent.
Well, she has an accent, but it's not British.
Well, I'm from New England, but I now live in the Rocky Mountains just outside of Yellowstone National Park, and the population here is 60. Now, it's a 3-hour drive to the nearest town that has a service station, and between here and there are 3 packs of wolves.
Cook City. Population.
Okay.
My brother's house has a larger population than your whole town.
Cook City, Montana.
Yes. At the present moment, there is an enormous buffalo in the backyard, and in order to get to the car, I have to first get past the buffalo.
You know, buffalo are pretty fast, aren't they?
Yes.
I remember years ago we were at Yellowstone, and we were, my wife and children and I had taken a trip, and I remember driving on some lonely road and coming across a buffalo grazing in a field.
Uh-huh.
And realizing that it was much bigger than I thought buffaloes were, I encouraged my wife to get out and take some videotape of this buffalo.
Yeah. Not you.
Oh, I was driving. I couldn't possibly man the video camera.
No.
So after the remaining three of us, pushed her out of the car, she reluctantly agreed to take some footage of this buffalo grazing. And at some point, I remember hearing something like, oh, and she was running and just made it back to the car with the buffalo in hot pursuit.
No kidding.
Yeah, buffalo aren't so docile.
Well, he's standing about 10 feet from the car. But in the event that I do make it to the car, here's the problem. I have a 1980 Subaru. It's a 4-wheel drive, 4-speed. It has only 80,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
All right. Now I turn the key, and it starts right up. I let go of the key. It stays in the on position. The car stops running.
Perfect.
I thought it was the ignition switch, so I purchased a new one and installed it, and the same thing happened. Then I went and purchased a whole new ignition. I installed that, and the same thing happened.
Got it. Okay. We're with you.
But this is a clue I think is important. Something is draining the battery. Every 4 or 5 days, the battery is completely dead.
Must be that buffalo.
So how do you start it now?
I put the key in, I turn it, vroom, it starts right up. As soon as the key goes back to the on position, and it doesn't go to off, it stays in the on position, it just stops dead.
Boy, it's going to be a long winter.
Oh, no.
It's going to be a long winter.
No.
You're going to be cuddling up to that buffalo pretty soon. You're going to be your roommate.
Buffalo Bill.
This is a classic example of a bad ballast resistor.
Say that again. A what resistor?
Ballast.
Ballast?
See, what the ballast resistor does is the current that the battery's putting out 12 volts. And so when you're starting the car, you want all those 12 volts to go to the ignition so it will have a lot of juice. But once the car is running, when it goes to the on position, not the start position, this ballast resistor becomes part of the circuit so that the voltage going to the coil, instead of being 12 volts, is only 9.
Okay.
And if that ballast resistor is broken, then you will have exactly the symptom that you have. You start it, and when you turn it to the start position, the ballast resistor ain't there. So it starts. You let go of the key, it goes to the start position, bingo, ballast resistor, and it's broken, and the electricity can't get through it, and bingo, it doesn't run.
Would that also drain the battery?
No.
No, you have another problem.
Those are two separate problems.
Okay.
No, I mean, the battery may be going dead because the regulator is not working and charging up the battery.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the first step is to get it away from the buffalo.
Yeah, but how are we going to do that?
Well, I think you need, this is a male or a female buffalo?
I think it's a bull. I think it's a big bull.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Where do I look? How do you tell?
Oh, well, I know how you tell, but I don't think I'd want to get close enough to tell. Call up call up the Subaru dealer.
Yes. Okay.
Call up Subaru of Montana.
Okay.
And ask them if this car has a ballast resistor and if they could kindly mail you one.
Mail? There's 60 people. There's no post office in Cook City.
No, there is a post office.
Oh,
that's all there is, in a one-room schoolhouse.
That's all there is.
Oh, cool. So you could actually get mail.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, we do get it 5 days a week now. We used to only get it 3.
Ah. Then ask them to mail you a ballast resistor and the one-page instruction on where it is.
Okay, yeah.
No, once you get it, you'll find it. It's under the hood.
Okay.
It's under the hood, usually mounted on the firewall, right behind the steering wheel.
And if it isn't that, it's probably the igniter, but you'll have to call back about that because we're out of time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Patricia, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Patricia, it's been a pleasure.
Well, it's been very helpful to me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I hope we have helped you, but we're not going to get you out of Cook City, but that was your choice and not ours. And I know that you must love it there, or why else would you subject yourself to this kind of torture? So what? So
the obvious question is why?
Why do you live there?
Well, there was this guy.
It's always the same, isn't it?
Isn't that stupid?
Isn't it stupid? And of course now he's
and
gone.
he and the dog ran off together?
Yeah. He and Shep are now in Tampa Bay. And Patricia
living it up like Don King. And they stuck you out there in the snow.
Yes.
Patricia's stuck in Cook City with a...
Get your Subaru fixed and you can find another fella.
Okay.
Good luck,
See ya,
Patricia. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure talking to you. You are one unique person.
So are you two. Wow.
Bye.
Thank you very, very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
How can we be a unique person?
Yeah, we half
a brain each.
Right. We share a brain.
Yeah.
Well, it's happened again. You were frittered.
Yeah.
Frittered away another hour listening to Car Talk. Our esteemed producer is Doug the Subway Fugitive, not a slave to fashion Berman. Our associate producer and Dean of the College of Automusicology is Ken Babyface Rogers. Our assistant producer is Catherine Crystal Ray. And our engineer is Jonathan Marston. Our technical, spiritual, and menu advisor is Mr. June of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, and WBUR in Boston.
And even though Nina and Koki embrace each other and sob every time they hear us say it, this is NPR, National Public Radio.
Fall in love with new music every Friday at All Songs Considered. That's NPR's music recommendation podcast. Fridays are where we spend our whole show sharing all the greatest new releases of the week. Make the hunt for new music a part of your life again. Tap into New Music Friday from All Songs Considered, available wherever you get your podcasts.
On NPR's Throughline.
School teachers are going to be the ones that rebuild our society in a way that is more cohesive. Basically, where soldiers set down their arms, school teachers need to pick up their books.
How the U.S. Department of Education tried to fix a divided nation.
Listen to Throughline wherever you get your podcasts.
Hola, it's Sarah Gonzalez. At Planet Money, when we say we want you to understand the economy, sure, we mean tariffs and global supply chains and interest rates, cosas así, but also we shot a satellite into space. We made our own vodka, became a record label, made a comic book, all to help you make better sense of the world around you. Listen to the Planet Money podcast from NPR.